Happy Homebrew Wednesday. This, man, yeah, you can kind of see that. This is, let me see if I got a light here I can get this behind. Nah, not really. Wish I had a, you know what, hold on. This might work. Let you see some light through it. Oh, look at that. That is that's an Irish Red. Remorseful Leprechaun 2021. Cheers. This is the best one ever. It came out of the new fermenter, the G4. Man, it's perfect. I'm very pleased with it. And it's just in time. I've got friends coming over for Christmas. So this will be around. We got the Army-Navy game. We'll talk about that later. So I think this is going to be an epic Homebrew Wednesday video. A lot of stuff to talk about. I'll first talk a little bit about this beer. So it came out, Remorseful Leprechaun, starting gravity was 1065, final gravity was 1015. I think that put it around 1015, 1014. So it ended up being a little over 6.5%, so 6.6%. 220, 221, whatever it takes, somewhere around there. During the brew day, I was going to use, I think Magnum up front, and then a little bit of Fuggles at the end. I forgot the Fuggles, or no, what did I do? I measured out the Magnum, and I think it was supposed to be, I want to say like a quarter or a little less than half of an ounce up front, and I ended up dumping in the bag that was left over in the bag and not what I put in the cup. So it ended up being a little over half an ounce or something like that. So because of that, I ended up not putting in any more hops. So there was no Fuggles that went in this. You know what? I don't really think I miss it. You know, because I mean these are malty beers anyway. It's a malty beer. It has that really nice kind of Irish ale sweetness on the back of the tongue. You know, towards the end of the taste, or end of the experience, I guess you would say. What do they call that? Towards the end of the end of the swallow. I don't know what you call it. But it's perfect carbonation, beautiful color. It's like really nice and red. Looks like I used to, you know, one of the beers I used to drink when I was a young lad was a Killian's, and it looks kind of like a Killian's. Nice lacing on it. Yeah, just I always love Irish Reds, and I love malt beers, as you know. So, so anyway, so yeah, I think I already showed the footage of the brew day. I'll show some footage here of when I transferred it into the keg and cleaned out the keg. So gonna transfer the Remorseful Leprechaun. This is the attachment that I used to put into the keg. It's pretty easy. So I've taken this bar. This bar right here is normally, this little bar right here is normally sideways, but you loosen this C-clamp, tri-clamp here, and then you tilt it down, and that takes the tube on the inside and kind of aims it down once you've let the yeast cake out of the bottom. So I'll come back and maybe I'll get some footage of it. All right, there we go. The Remorseful Leprechaun is now going in. Looks like it's pretty clear. That's good. Let's see. Yeah, it's filling in. You can see that. You got the little CO2 on there, CO2 bed. It's filling pretty fast. So I'll go ahead and stop here so I don't have to make a mess. All right, so while this water is heating up, there is inside. I think I wasted a bit of it, maybe half a gallon. I could have maybe got a little more into the keg if I would have turned that, see the tube on the inside? That corresponds with this bar here. If I would have turned that down just a slight bit more, I think it would have not pulled any yeast, and I still could have got another, I don't know, quarter, half of a gallon, but that's fine. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Cleaning this thing is just so easy. I'm just gonna let this thing soak in the HBW for, I don't know, overnight. And I'll rinse it out and dry it out, and I might clean it again before the next use to sanitize, but it's just so easy to do. Love this thing. Okay, so here I am. I let it soak for an hour, and now I'm filling up. I dumped it out, and I put it in my keg that just came off, that just kicked, the old school keg that's empty. So I was able to recycle the HBW out of here into the keg. And now I'm just filling this thing up with, I'm just soaking it with hot water, and then I'll drain it out and then dry it, and then good to go until I use it. It's so easy. God, I love these things. Okay, now it's dry. Tell me that's not beautiful. Oh my God, that's, oh, makes me happy. Just a really fun beer. I actually left it in the fermenter longer than most ales. I think probably any ale that I've ever done before. I left it in there for over a month just because I didn't have space on the keg, and old school finally kicked, so I was able to free up a tap handle. So yeah, so I'll be sipping on this thing through the holidays, and you know, probably have to make another one for St. Patrick's Day. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is smoking. Smoking! My friend Andy down at the end of the street, he has a Kamado Joe's. I think I've talked about it before. We smoked brisket last time, but this time we said, hey, let's do a pork butt with a bone-in pork butt, and we'll do pulled pork, you know, barbecue. And so last Saturday, I got up very early in the morning, went down there, and it was pretty cool. Okay, it's dark outside. Got my partner in crime, Andy. We're gonna be on Homebrew Wednesday this week, cooking a pork butt. Looks like we've got the rub going on. We're gonna have the fat colligated with plenty of scoring, and we don't spray the fat, right?
We do not.
All right. Got him this thing called a loof lighter or loof torch, and it looks like one of those things you use to, looks like a industrial curling iron with a little grill on it, and looks like those things that, you know, it kind of, when you turn it on, it kind of acts like one of those heat shrink melters that melts heat shrink. But you take this thing, it's got holes in the grill, you'll see some video of it, but you know, you put your charcoal in there, and then you put your, I think we used pecan wood chunks, we spread it around, and then that thing heats evenly, and it doesn't cause an open flame. That just, wow, that thing works quick.
Yeah, so these were holes that had been used on the turkey, so they should go real fast.
Wow, look how fast that blow dryer works. Auto blow dryer.
That's it. The loof lighter.
The loof lighter. Yeah. What awesome person got you this loof lighter?
Hey, thank you, man. It was an awesome birthday gift.
That is cool.
All right, so that gets that going. I'll just get it going in a couple of spots.
It like superheats the charcoal into glowing embers, and it gives you this nice even, you know. I just really want a smoker. It's another toy, and I don't know if my wife will ever let me get one, but it's really, really cool. So anyway, we did that, and then we scored the pork butt so you can render the fat. It's called render. You don't want collagen, which is this kind of, the fat turns into like this gelatin substance, and it makes the meat taste really well. It's really kind of gross when you think about it, but you do all this right, and it works out pretty well. So put that video on there of how the smoking went, and then I'll come back. How are you gonna wrap it when it's hot?
I've got gloves.
Oh, okay.
You notice in that video how he's always wearing gloves and such.
Yeah. This thing is just so cool. The heat deflector.
Yeah, he's got the drippings from the turkey on it, so we'll put that side down.
What do you call the egg again? Kamado Joe?
Kamado Joe.
Kamado Joe. One of these days, I will have a Kamado, Joe.
Yeah, get one. They're cool.
The sprinkler system has to come first.
Are you guys getting one?
Yeah, looks that way.
So we got to get the internal temperature up to 250. So it'll take some time. We're not even registering. We just closed the top.
Okay.
So it'll take some time. It's and you don't want it going up super fast because once it starts moving up, it's hard to slow it down. So
and then we'll control it with the dampers.
You got the damper up top.
Yeah, you got the big one, and then you got the small one. Wait a minute, the small one's up here, the big one's down here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're.
Is that the damper there I'm looking at? Or?
This one right here.
Okay.
There you go. So that gets the air flowing
that's
up through the fire.
That's
and then
rough,
out.
and that's fine-tuned.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Scored fat so we can render it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, you want to open that up and just hit that little... There you go. Just push that forward.
Push it forward?
There you go.
What am I doing? Oh,
there you go.
There we go. All right.
All right.
All right. Shut it.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. What are we at? We dropped a little bit. We were, well, not too. We're pretty close to 250. We gotta get this stabilized. Okay, so we are holding at just over 250. Actually, a little bit more. Jump back up a little bit. But we're good. We'll wait for 3 hours and we'll come back and wrap.
Ready?
Okay, it's post Peloton ride. It's been what, 4 hours?
4 hours.
4 hours. All right. At 250. Oh, look at that. That looks nice. So now what do we got to do?
Now we'll spray. Spritz.
Spray it and avoid the fat on top?
Yeah, apple cider vinegar. Just on the sides.
And you don't have that high-speed exterminating decanter
No.
that the guy had in the video.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, I can smell it.
Yeah,
oh my God, that smells
super
good.
strong.
That cider smells good when you spray it on. How do you get the back? There you go. Wow, that smells really good. Hey, what does Heather need to bring as a side dish today? Or dishes? What's his name? Bear?
Bear.
Hey, what's up, Bear? How you doing? Woof.
Yeah, let me check with Nolan and see what...
All right, so what just happened, Andy?
Just pulled the bone out.
And that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Not one shred of meat on there.
That's right. Nice and clean.
Wow.
Professional.
So apparently we rendered the fat, right?
We did.
Yeah, excellent.
We need to.
Okay, so as you saw, it from start to finish, we had the pulled pork sandwiches, and it was just, and we had a wonderful day. And we were watching the Bulldogs hopefully beat Alabama, but wasn't to happen. The Bulldogs, Andy and Nolan's daughter, goes to Georgia, so we were hoping they would win, but unfortunately that wasn't to happen. But the pork was damn good. So, and the Bulldogs are still in it. They are still in the top 4, so they have another shot at, and have probably another crack at Alabama. Let's see. So anyway, what's next? So Christmas is coming. I am so into Christmas. I should be wearing a Santa Claus hat right now. You know, man, I was cooking cooking dinner last night, and I had the holly and the ivy on. I'll show you a quick video here of my dog. He went and had some surgery done. He had bladder stones. I'll do the HIPAA violation here. My dog had bladder stones. We've had them removed before. That was probably a couple of years ago. They came back like somewhere between 13 and 19 stones. Can't remember how many, but it can be really dangerous if they go to pass them and it blocks them up, and it turns into an emergent situation. So better to remove them than leave them. We love Reese, so we took him to, he went and came back and was all glassy-eyed. So anyway, all right, so the big thing for this week is Army-Navy game. So there's all these memes going around. Look, I love me some Navy. You know, naval surface gunfire is like the most devastating firepower in our arsenal, short of like a nuclear missile, right? But you know, when you were a kid growing up, there's all these memes, you know, hey, let's go out and play Navy, said no kid ever. Sorry, Army-Navy game this week. I love my Navy people. Sorry, Larry. But this week, we're pure enemies. until Army-Navy's is over. If you haven't watched the Army-Navy game, put that thing on and watch it. It is a really cool college game. It's a highlight. It's nationally televised every year because it's such a really special game. You know, you've got these young men, and maybe one of these days we'll have women on there, but because you know they're warriors too in our combat arms. But you know, these young men get out there and they're not playing for money. They're out there playing for their teams, and these are young men. All these cadets, you know, get up, have hectic schedules, and then they play football too. They're really good this year. They've been good the last several years. But every single one of them, as soon as they commission, or as soon as they graduate their senior year, they're putting on a gold bar or whatever the Navy calls their ensign ranks, and they're heading out to go be officers out in harm's way. So you know, I think it's a great two academies that, you know, all the service academies really. I wish Space Force would get one for the space cadets, but they're under the Air Force. But anyway, it's a really special game, the Army-Navy game. By the way, the Marines fall up under the Navy for the Army-Navy game. So if you didn't realize that, you probably do. But watch it. Watching the midshipmen go up against the cadets, the Army cadets from West Point, is just special. It's a special game, and regardless of who wins, it's just you know, I always tear up. They have the emotional opening kind of video where they talk about how important the game is, and he shows families and how they sent their sons or daughters off to the academy, and it just, man, if that doesn't tug your heartstrings, and I'm starting to get moisty-eyed thinking about it, then you know, you ain't American. But it's a really cool game. So hopefully I've plugged it well enough. Watch the Army-Navy game. I think it starts around 3-ish on Saturday. So I'll be here. I'm bringing my buddy Andy. We did the pork butt, and you know, we're gonna drink some brews. And I got him on to Goose Island Bourbon County Stout, by the way. Go Army, beat Navy. And next Wednesday, I might not have a bounce on my step if we don't win. But the Army's, I think, 8-3 right now, and the Navy's like 3-8 or 3-9, or you know, something like that. So it's looking pretty good for us. Oh, by the way, the last thing I'll say about that, normally both teams are pretty heavy on the run. The Navy tends to throw a little bit more than the Army does, but not this year. This year, you know, the Army has a triple option, meaning usually the quarterback can run. You know, they've got two different quarterbacks, really three quarterbacks, probably have more quarterbacks if one gets hurt. Number one is, I forget, Tyrell Tyler, and he's probably the better runner. He throws like once in a blue moon. Number four is Christian Anderson, and that guy he's got an arm. He's throwing like 60-yard touchdown passes this year. It's crazy. You never see the Army do that. You've never really see them throw on first and second down, and they're doing that this year, which has all the teams like assed up because they're used to seeing the triple option and then trying to avoid getting cut block or chop block. Now they're having to worry about, is he really going to throw it? So it's really fun to watch them this year. So anyway, and the last thing I'll say is Army's uniforms, they rock. They have the towers from 9/11, I think, on the front of them this year. They're Special Forces themed, so they got the cross arrows, and they got the Latin logo for the Special Forces, and then I think they've got their instead of the Army, they've got the Latin Special Force logo. It's escaping me at the moment. But anyway, the uniforms are a big deal. They really are. So the Navy, I think they're gunning for Top Gun. They're trying to capitalize on the fact that Top Gun's coming out in the spring. So they've got the, you know, FA-18 Hornet kind of design, and they've got these little, you know, naval aviator like helmets, and you know, anyway, a little cheesy, but hey. May the best team win. Hopefully it's Army. And on that, I think that might be... Wow, I've already went 12 minutes. This will be a long one. I think that's it. Man, did I mention I'm happy because it's Christmas? This month is going to fly by. Anyway, have yourself a happy homebrew and a very, very happy homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. Go Army, beat Navy.